Well, we're not doing an awful lot today, we're just sort of mooching around the Busselton area, and I think they call this Port Geograph, this area. This is up to the eastern side of Busselton. Just come in for lunch. Because there's no long vehicle parking bays, we tend to take up a whole bunch of space, but not much choice in that. Councils don't provide us with parking, we make our own generally, not much choice. This area, according to Wikicamps, is a picnic area, so I'm just going to wander up, see what's there. Plenty of parking at the moment anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we're taking up a lot of room. Toilets here, we'll see what other facilities are here. Nice breeze blowing at the moment, so that's keeping us cool again. Yeah, so they've got a barbecue, table, seats, shelter. I'm not sure that's the best view I've ever seen, but it's not bad either. Just got this little picnic area at the end of the road. This one is the roads that are heading up east from Busselton. It's as far as you can go before you fall into the water, where the cuts have been made into the marina. You can sort of see the entrance to that, I think. Down through that way, I think that's where it is. We're going to head down to the Busselton dump and water points, which are not all that far from here. They're back towards town. There were a couple of caravans filling up when we came past them this morning, so we decided not to wait and go back a bit later on. We're just going to fill up our water tanks. Don't need to do anything else today, and really not much planned. It's just a lazy day. We dropped into Salvation Army op shop, which we usually do when we're down here, and Dorothy loaded up on all sorts of female rubbish, wool and quilts and pillowcases and goodness knows what else, the sort of things that women typically buy when they go to those places. I didn't find anything this time, unfortunately. A couple of boats coming in. That's the kind of boat you get if you learn how to cheat on your taxes, I think. Similarly, these are the sort of houses you get if you learn to cheat on your taxes. And if you're poor little PAYE, like I was, the government sucks you dry. And that's the kind of boat you get if you're an honest, hard-working person that doesn't have an opportunity to cheat on their taxes. Busselton have done a really good job providing a dump point and water facilities for travellers. Much better, I might add, than Margaret River have. We have what used to be called the old Kookaburra Caravan Park just across the road there. Just at the back of that, away from the sea. You've got a nice little pull-in lane here, dump point. And just beyond that is potable water. They do have cages around those, so there's a possibility they get locked up from time to time. How long for and when and why, I'm not sure. Okay, that one is for washing down the dump point, although it appears to be locked. And the other one we've just used to fill up our tanks. There's the potable water down there, and they also have refuse collection, so thank you very much to the Shire of Busselton. Are they the Shire or the City of Busselton these days? I'm never sure about these things. Probably the City of Busselton by now. But yeah, it's really good to have decent facilities like this, easily accessible for travellers. So if you're looking for something in Busselton, these are the facilities that they've made available. Not far from the old Ludlow Mill is Forrest Beach. And as you can see from that, you can bring your four-wheel drives up here and go on the beach. Beautiful spot, and today the sea is very, very flat. It'll be pretty nice to get out there with a boat and do a bit of fishing, but unfortunately this trip not carrying anything. I think I may have been wise to bring the kayak along, but never mind. It'll be nice paddling around out there today. This is right on the corner of the road as it turns in towards Turat Forest. So it's as far north as you can go. It's the last little parking spot. So we've set ourselves up here for the day, hopefully. If it gets too hot, I might even throw the aircon on for a while. The flies, as you can probably see, are pretty friendly here though. If you come up Forrest Beach Road from Busselton, you'll find the last section is gravel. But if you come around from Turat Forest and come through Turat Forest Drive, there's only a tiny bit of gravel before you reach this spot here. So we just set up there in the corner with the awning out. Very nice view. And hopefully just sit back and relax for the day. Of course, being a Saturday, there's going to be more people around today than there would have been during the week. So I sort of expect it to be a bit busy. We've come back today to have a look at the Ludlow timber mill that we filmed quite a few years ago. It was vandalised and dilapidated and falling into a state of real disrepair. But since then, a restoration group has taken it over, and they've been doing the place up. And as you can see from the mill office there, now all secured, repainted, and I don't know what they're going to do with the area. It would be interesting to find out. Obviously it would be best to turn it into some sort of museum. But we'll just have a wander around the site and see how far this restoration has got since we were here last. Obviously some of the old houses here are in need of a bit more work, but they are now all secured again by the looks of it, which is a good thing. It stops the vandals getting in and wrecking them. And it would be nice to find out what the objective is with this restoration, and whether the place is going to be open to the public at some stage. It should be. This is part of our history and it's an important site. So the area has now been fenced off, which is good. That keeps out the casual vandals. And good to see this place being brought back to some semblance of normality again. Looks like the mill site has been cleaned up a bit, although some of the buildings are still looking a bit worse for wear. And not sure what the state of the schoolhouse down the back is. We'll probably nip down there and have a look at that as well while we're here. Now presumably that would be where the caretaker stays. Need somebody on this site to keep an eye on it, otherwise the vandals would get into it again. Now that wouldn't be a bad job, looking after this. Nice quiet little spot to sit and enjoy. When we were filming this previously, we did actually spend a couple of nights parked up behind one of the old houses and give us time to film it properly. Well, this is part of the Turat Discovery Trail. It's called James Block. It's off Stirling Road. This is supposed to be National Park. Anybody hazard a guess at what all these plants are? They're weeds infesting a national park. So despite the fact that they call them national parks and they're supposed to be these pristine environments, it doesn't look to me like they do much to care for them. Those plants, I believe they're aurum lilies, looking at them, should not be here. They should be poisoned and got rid of. None of those should be in a national park. So whatever office runs the national parks down in this area really is doing nothing to eradicate weeds, and this is a really nasty infestation of them. You see these things all over the place, and yeah, they look pretty, but they should not be here. Camps lists this spot as a picnic area with tables and seats. Well, I don't know what's happened to the tables and seats if they ever were here. Well, they're certainly not here now. Parking area is very small. We were able to turn around, thankfully. but I really wouldn't recommend coming for a walk here at the moment. Full of flies. Last night we came into Capel, and they have a self-contained RV rest area, 24-hour stop. Now, Wikicamp says 3 sites, and yes, correct, there's 3 sites along the road there. But I know the last time we dropped in here, people were actually camping, well, parking. People were actually parking in the shade on this side. So whether that's been discontinued, I'm not sure. There's no signs confirming it. But you would imagine if people just squeezed along the edge here, if they wanted to come in, they may be able to, considering there's no signs that say you can't do it. But definitely the 3 parking bays are available on bitumen there. And as you can see, they all filled up. We came in early afternoon and we were the second ones in. So it is used by people, so you can't arrive too late and expect to get a spot here. Reasonable little shady spot, trees on either side. Although yesterday was pretty warm in the coaster, so we did actually stick the air conditioner on. You probably can't see the blue line going between the trailer and the coaster there, but we did put that on for a couple of hours yesterday, get nice and cool. So today, this is actually, I should mention that this is actually a dog exercise area here. So if you're travelling with dogs, it's okay to get them out of your rig and let them have a run around here, I guess. Today we are heading for our last stop, which is our old stamping ground of Heron Point. We've got a site in there, number 21. You have to book there now, so we'll be heading off there a little bit later. We've got to go to the Blackwater dump point. One of our portaloos is full, so we have to empty that, and we'll slowly make our way up to Heron Point. It's a bit of a drive, still what are we, about 100 kilometres from it maybe. So going to be another warm day, and it's warming up, so tomorrow's going to be even warmer, but we will be really close to home, and from there it'll just be an hour's drive, or 3/4 of an hour's drive to get home. Well, this is going to be the last night of the trip. We're down at Heron Point. It's going to be a bit warm today, I think, so generator might come on again for the aircon a bit later on. It's only mid-morning and it's already feels stinking hot in here. Unfortunately for us, Heron Point is now rather ruined. Too many people know about it. It gets way too crowded. They've got far too many sites in here. In the old days I think they had about 15 sites. Now there's 20 plus. I think I've probably been to this campsite more times than I've been to any other. But we don't tend to come here often these days because it's usually way overcrowded. How it'll go today I'm not sure. There's still a few sites empty, but the sites are pretty close together, and it does develop the look of a caravan park after a while when enough people come in here. And in fact, you're closer to other people here than you would be in a caravan park, or at least most of them. You used to park the old Bedford bus up on the slope right in front of me here. In fact, when we first came here, that area where the van's sitting was as boggy as hell. It's all been hardened up now. Well, the sun's finally set on what was a pretty warm day down at Heron Point. We did actually stick the aircon on for a couple of hours. Still got people out there probably looking for crabs. Not the best time to look for crabs. Can't see much in the water. And seeing what I've seen in the water out here, I wouldn't go out there at night. You can definitely get large bites in that water. Not often, but They lurk around. Used to come here with the prawning nets, and the one who didn't own the prawning net, which was usually me, got to be on the deep end. I didn't like wandering around in this stuff at night. No attacks here, but makes you feel uneasy being out in that stuff when it's dark like it is now. Dolphins certainly come down here. I've seen them numerous times. And if they can get down here, yeah, the old bities can get here too. So I would say come dusk and dawn, keep yourself out of that stuff. But plenty of people still do it. If you've got big powerful lights, it's a bit of a different thing, but this sort of water at the moment is very murky. You really can't see very far at all. Having been very close to a shark in the Swan River as a teenager, I don't like murky water.